I think people have like a certain preconception of what a murderer would be like. You get all sorts. I've met one that it sounds weird, but I had a lovely chat with him. I think I'm more likely to stab myself if I'm wearing massive like oven gloves while I'm trying to use a scalpel. The deceased person is up and destroying the house. Yeah.
JJ, hello, welcome to the show.
Morning.
Nice to meet you again.
Hang on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this isn't our first rodeo.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Tell me more.
Well, I murdered someone.
Did you?
Yeah. It turned out to be my cat. And JJ.
You've murdered Mike Cat.
Good, really good from you. I haven't got to the imagination to come up with a murder scene story here, so I'll just go with the truth. We met at Legoland, didn't we?
Yeah. Full-time CSI, part-time stalker.
Nice.
Yeah, bumped into Joe at Legoland literally a couple of days ago.
It was so weird. I was there with the family and picking up a pram. As in, I hadn't gone to Legoland to buy a pram. I was
A Lego pram.
Wheels are a bit square.
I went to get the thingy, a hire pram, and then this guy came up to me and was like, "Hey mate, I'm coming on your show next week." I went, "Are you?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What as?" Half double going, is he telling the truth? Let's see it. And he went, "Yeah, CSI." I was like, "No fucking way. This is amazing." It was so weird.
Yeah.
Really weird. Daisy was like, "Who was that then?" I went, "That's JJ, the CSI guy. He's coming on next week." She went, "Oh, that's weird." And then essentially it's only really weird for me and you.
Yeah.
So no one else really
Slightly
gives a
weird
shit.
for my wife when I just abandoned her in Legoland after I saw you.
There you go. Fucking look after the kids. I'm off to spend time with Joe. Let's go.
You have been looking forward, Joe, to doing a CSI episode, I think from the very start.
I have, yes. It's been on the list for a long time.
Your right leg is now bouncing up and down.
With excitement.
With excitement.
And a bit of nerves. It's been on the list for a while. Because I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to. Is it the, what's it called? Like, what's the morbidity? No.
Morbid, yeah.
No, there's a better word for it. The macabre.
Macabre.
There's that side of things. I don't know. I've been drawn to death.
The darkness.
And the darkness far more than the light. I don't know, like, I'm fascinated by psychopaths and programs about psychopaths and how their minds work. Fascinated in a way of how the fuck do you become that? Not because I want to become that. It's like, this is mental. How, do you know what I mean? You're looking at me. Do you have that weird take on it?
I don't, Joe.
Oh.
But I'm gonna ride that train with you today.
Okay, let's ride together.
Yeah.
Let's make it the dragon from Legoland, actually.
That's exactly the ride we're going to take today to the CSI world.
And JJ is going to be our conductor.
Is everything going to be acronyms? Just so I know. JJ, CSI,
SOCO.
SOCO.
SOCO. Whenever I think of SOCO, I think of Mankind from WWF.
Yeah.
Just Mr. SOCO put on and choke, and then I just want to choke you out with my sock. It'll be a clean one.
But what is SOCO? Why am I looking at you? JJ, what is SOCO? What are SOCO? Who is SOCO?
So naming wise, every force around the country calls us different things depending on how Hollywood you want to sound or whatever. We are currently SOCO, but like my badge and everything is CSI. It's bonkers. It's boring politics.
So SOCO is Scenes
of
Crime Officer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And CSI
Crime Scene Investigator. In other places, it's CSE, so it's Crime Scene Examiner. Yeah.
But they're all the same. There's no...
It's basically the same job.
Right.
So, yeah, it's built differently in different police forces, as in, like, how much each role does. But basically, yeah, it's the same.
Would you be... Are there different departments of SOCO in the sense of... Are you called out to... are you separated into, right, you're the burglar, robbery, SOCO department, you're the murder SOCO department, you're the assault SOCO department. Do you know, or is it?
No, it's more roles. So like
Right.
you have levels. So you start just dealing with basic stuff like burglaries, vehicle crime, all that sort of stuff, and then so we call that volume crime. Then you get promotion. You start dealing with more complex stuff, we call it, and you'll run things like violences, GBHs, that sort of stuff. Another acronym. Police world is full of them. And then you and then when it starts getting to like murder level, everyone deals with them, but the person with overall responsibility is someone called a crime scene manager. And then above that, you have what's called a coordinator. So they don't actually do anything in the scene. They sit at the back and they literally like sort of puppet master, sorting everything out.
Billy Big Bollocks doesn't get his hands dirty anymore. Just bosses people around.
Yeah.
What would you be, Tom?
I'd like to be the man on the ground, I think, Joe.
Would you?
Because it sounds to me, JJ, like you are a puzzle solver.
I think that's what made me want to do the job. Like, I like things being different every day. I don't think I could do a 9 to 5. And I do, I like problem solving. I like solving puzzles. I have got like a fairly short attention span in that I will lose interest. Like if once it's done, I'll still do it, but I'm not excited by it anymore. The first couple of days are what get me on a big job. I love it, and then once you're done with that, I'll do what I have to do. But I've lost interest.
It's a bit worrying if it's like a
complex.
Yeah. While
JJ's
it's
here,
complex,
but you've only got him for 2 days.
Yeah.
If you need anything after that, you're fucked. You'll have to get someone else in because he's not really bothered after 2 days. But he'll give you everything for the 2 days. I like that. I really like that.
I give my all for all of it, but there'll only be a smile on my face for the first 2 days.
Joe, shall we are going to go to a crime scene right now.
Oh.
With JJ.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Ready?
What sort of crime scene?
There's been a murder.
A murder?
A murder.
No.
So we are travelling to the crime scene. Joe, you are currently wearing a hoodie, your trademark cap, some shorts, and those suede DMs.
Yeah.
I like them. They're really nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Cheers.
Because they're tough but they're soft at the same time.
They are. Yeah. I do.
Duality
get
of
a
your
bit panicky though when stuff like drips on them, but then I think that adds character. So.
I think so. It tells a story.
Not important to the crime scene.
So here we are, JJ. We're heading to the crime scene. Joe's dressed like that. I'm in jeans and, surprise, surprise, a blue top. What clothes do we need to lose, gain, don, etc. before we go to this murder scene?
So in general, we're not allowed to wear shorts or anything, which is absolute murder.
Right, that's you done for, isn't
it? During the summer.
Yeah.
And then we're meant to wear safety shoes, so like steel toe caps and then like a rod through the middle in case we stand on anything. Just that's what we're meant to wear all the time.
Yeah.
And then once you're at the scene, depending on the level of the crime, is when you start donning the white suit and stuff.
Do you want a white suit, Joe?
So when you get to the scene, you put on this all-in-one.
Yeah.
All-in-one white.
Yeah.
Straight with a hood, like
hood or hairnet.
A hood or hairnet, and you get like the small round of your face. Have you got a mask on?
Yeah.
Mask on. Don't need glasses. Do you
No, we only put like safety glasses on if you're recovering something.
Gloves.
Yeah.
And then do you put those, what they called, those shoe covers over your boots as well?
Yeah.
And until you've got all of that signed off, then you can enter the crime scene.
At like major crime, like murder level.
Right.
Normal crime, like basic crime scenes, you don't. It's just gloves and mask because the level of what you're doing is lower and the level of risk is lower at simpler crimes. As soon as you get to a murder, it's full scene suit, basically, full PPE.
Right, so we're ready to go. Okay, so we're on our way there, Tom. You've told us what is it's going to be a murder. Do you want to give us a little bit of what's happened here?
All we know at this stage, Joe, is that it's an unexplained murder.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So I think, and JJ, you can help me out here, I think we're looking for several variables here, Joe. We're looking for cause of death.
Yeah.
We're looking for whatever has caused this death.
That's the same thing you've just said twice. Can I ask JJ what we're looking for?
I think that would be wise.
JJ, what's our checklist on this murder case that we're looking into?
I think it very much depends. If we're going for someone with a proper big wound, I think like generally that's then fairly obvious what potential cause of death. We don't do like establishing cause of death. They'll go off for a post-mortem, which we go to as well, but it's run by a pathologist. But yeah, if it's fairly obvious what the wound is, then yeah, you're looking for a weapon as well. You're looking for other wounds on the body before it gets recovered to make sure you're not looking for something else. So like, for example, like someone's been stabbed with a pair of scissors. That wound could look like a knife wound if the blades are together, but if they were stabbed twice and one of the times the blades are apart, then you go, oh, scissors, not knife. So we're not qualified to like confirm that, but
that's what you're looking at.
It's a start.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's little. We're sort of more well-rounded investigators, really. So if there's specialisms all over the place, but we're sort of the does all. But yeah, so that's probably first two steps.
Have you got so you've got all the PPE and everything that you're wearing? Have you got a clipboard?
Some people use a clipboard, but we're in the forces I work in. We're pretty much like paperless, so everything's on tablet or laptop. So
Any dictaphones?
no, we've no one other than the pathologists that I work with that do the post-mortems for obvious reasons with their hands being dirty. They're the only people I know that use dictaphones. So
Okay, Joe, this is our setup. You are in your white suit. Why are the gloves always blue?
we've got purple ones as well.
That would work for us, our show branding.
Yeah, good.
So, Joe, you've got the white suit, you've got the purple. You've had to wear trousers, and I'm sorry about that because I've never seen you in trousers. But
It's fine.
okay,
I'll accept it.
so you'll accept it in the blink of an eye to do a CSI job, but in all your years in rugby, never doing it.
No, fuck it.
Okay, so you've got the purple gloves, you've got the white hazmat, you've got purple overshoes. Your eyes are scanning the ground, Joe. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for footprints. Whether it's like blood stained or dust or mud or dirt. And then from that, I can measure, I can get a piece of A4 paper. I can then put it on top of this footprint that I found. Then I can get a pencil and I can, like you used to
Trace.
Yeah, like you colour it.
Brass rubbing.
Yeah, like you'd get a coin. Do you remember getting a coin, putting it under thing, and then doing that, and then the Queen's face would come up, and you go, "That is fucking magic." I'd be like, "That is so cool." I'd be doing it all the time. So I'm doing that. So then I've got the trace of the footprint, and I go, "Well, that's suspect number one," or is it? It could be the victim, or the deceased. We don't say victim, do we? What do we say?
Deceased or
Deceased.
injured party. Obviously, if they're dead, they're severely injured. But we
Aren't
call
they?
it
Yeah.
Injured party because
But that'd be a bit weird, isn't it?
yeah.
If you say
I mean, they're
injured
technically
party,
injured.
like you're only coming to a party if you're injured, or is it a party that you turn up to
And it's so
then-
wild.
No, the rule is we all have to injure each other. A bit like a mosh pit.
Yeah.
That's the party. That's the rules of the party.
I wouldn't go to this party.
You not fancy it?
Not really.
What if it was okay? Sometimes you get sent to the minor injury unit.
Yeah, been, yeah.
Why don't we go to a minor injury party? So it's like
With that sprained thumb.
yeah, or like a twisted ankle and
Yeah.
a flick on the forehead.
Yeah.
Anyway, the deceased, it could be their footprint or not, but then
Could
I'll
it be
look.
yours?
No, because I've got my purple
covers.
of
Yes.
aperture on. Is that the right one?
No, that's a hole.
Overture.
Overshoot.
Overshoe. So it's not mine. I've told everyone, fucking stay out of my crime scene. I don't want you fucking dirty in my crime scene.
Nice.
Stay out of it, all right? You're polluting it. Do you ever say that?
Not that extreme. I've had to I've had to have very strong words with a police officer once, and the force I work for, we have 24 hours in police custody following us sometimes, and they come up behind with the camera and the mic, and I was just like, "You're not going to want to record this.
No.
Like, take it away."
Right.
And yeah, it wasn't an issue. It only gone through like the outer cordon because we have like outer and inner cordons, sort of just as an extra barrier. And he'd gone through without like talking to us just because we were doing photographs around the outside of a scene, and I had to quite strongly warn him on his actions and what impact it could have.
So you can contaminate. I've never understood. Well, I haven't answered it. How quickly can you contaminate a crime scene?
Very, very easily and very quickly, especially like DNA techniques nowadays are so sensitive that it's just why we have to be so careful. We've got documents detailing like anti-contamination and all sorts, like everything we do. We don't just wear the gloves. Between everything we touch, we have to wipe them with alcohol wipes to make sure they're clean, and sort of kill off DNA.
I think I just thought that, say Tom was the first officer on site, and he's had to go round the crime scene. So, because he's like, oh my God, are they dead or alive? He's investigating it. So he's technically contaminated it from the off, but that's fine because you know it's Tom. If you find Tom's hair or anything, you go, that makes sense. But then surely if anyone else comes in like that later on, you can still just go, well, it's JJ's hair and all that, so that doesn't matter. So how's that contaminating it?
Because it muddies the waters, because it's quite complicated with DNA, but effectively the more people that contaminate it, you could actually, by sheer chance, on one of the many bits of DNA they look at as your profile, you could actually share a couple of those, like just by chance. You're not got the same DNA, but DNA isn't like the DNA they look at for crime scenes and the database and everything isn't the DNA that tells you what colour your eyes are and things like that. It's just these random repeats of data in your DNA, and you could share them with lots of people. And the minute you start adding more people to that mix, it makes the result at the end, even if you've got like your killer in there, it makes the chances that result is trustworthy lower and lower and lower and lower, because you've got more people sort of muddying the waters. And with obviously other evidence other than DNA, you could be rubbing out fingerprints, overlaying footwear marks, you could be doing all sorts to destroy the scene.
Joe, this is making me realise how complicated a crime scene could be. Because I think in my head, I've imagined an indoor crime scene to start with. You know, maybe super easy. But when you talked about muddying the waters there, JJ, here's what I'm thinking, Joe. It's been lashing it down with rain, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah? It's a big crime scene. It's dark, middle of the night.
Where?
We are in the middle of the Fens, north of Cambridge.
Oh, yeah, I know it well.
Yeah, the groundwater is high anyway. It's blowing a gale because there's nothing to stop the wind racing across the North Sea and across the Fens.
No.
So wind is blowing stuff everywhere. The rain is coming down. There's mud everywhere. People are sploshing everywhere, Joe. It's chaos. Literally
muddying the waters.
Literally, JJ, muddying the waters.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Yeah, I've done a murder before. This makes it sound like I did the murder.
Yeah, it's a safe space to confess. It's not a safe space. If you had to the murder, we'd pass it to the
worked
police.
On a murder in like a national park kind of place, wooded trees everywhere, wind, rain, everything. And in those jobs, the priority is like preservation. So we've got like those typical crime scene tents you see on.
Yeah, do you whip that up? Is it a pop-up or do
no?
You have
ours isn't pop-up. We do have a little like pop-up body tent that just covers a body, which is sort of like for those urgent situations where you need to just get it covered. But with that, we had the proper tent up. It's more like an events gazebo, but we have a sterile covering.
Is it classic events gazebo?
Is that your job to put it up, or is there a specific
gazebo
put up?
No, we do it because the less people that go into that scene, the better.
Yeah.
So with that job, that was priority number one, and it was like a good mile or two away from the nearest road. So we were using like the rural crime teams 4x4 to get in to this wooded area, sort of sliding all over the place in the mud, up to the crime scene, get the tent out, and it was so windy and rainy, we literally sort of lashed this tent to the nearest trees to stop it moving, and that was just priority number one. It's raining, it's windy, just get it covered and secure, put the tent up, and then you can like breathe and then make your plans for actually dealing with the crime scene.
Is this a role, Joe? We're obviously all together, three of us, at this crime scene. Would you be happy with helping out with the gazebo role?
I'll put that out, mate.
Yeah?
Fucking great. I would probably buy a gazebo on Amazon, similar to the one that I've just got the kids for football. So when we go and watch Jasper play football...
You take a gazebo with you?
Well, it's a pop-up gazebo, yeah.
What do you look like? Everyone else is standing in the rain and you go at the boot of the car?
No, I brought it with me.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So then you set yourself up a personal Marler family gazebo.
Yeah. I say to him, anyone can go in it if you want.
It's big enough, is it?
Well, it's big enough for the 3 kids that are sitting there. No, what do you mean? Don't make out like I'm sort of... It's nice for them because they don't want to watch the footy. They don't think we're supporting Jasper and it's great for the weather and the wind. And I remember one of the mums taking the piss because she'd only seen the picture that Daisy had sent her on Amazon. She's like, what the fuck? Why has he bought a giant gazebo that is going to look ridiculous? Like giving me shit before even seeing it. I bring it out. It's a 1-pool pop-up.
That's nice.
Straight out, she's like, oh my God, that's incredible. And I go, yeah, it is. Anyway, I'd get a better gazebo for us so it was a bit easier. You spoke about having to do what to that gazebo though?
Well, so there's 2 things. One, they need to be secured, because especially if it's windy, they
so put the
fuck off.
pegs down. Yeah, so I can put the pegs in. Yeah.
Yeah, in Fenland mud, that ain't doing nothing. So we have massive heavy weights that we attach to the base.
Yeah.
If that's not enough, which it hasn't been before, like the wind will take it still, you have to tie it to something nearby. So we use the trees, literally. But then we'd love it if we could use like a nice pop-up gazebo, but our the outside, just in case anything touches it, like the covering basically, rather than the frame, that has to be DNA clean. So we have a DNA clean cover that we then put over it, and then between uses we have to actually clean the frame with sort of cleaner that kills DNA.
How complicated was this murder scene that you'd got to? Because by the sounds of it, outside.
Yeah, outside, wind and rain.
Rain sounds pretty complicated to me.
Yeah, no idea who the person is when you first get it. It's just been reported by typically a dog walker. But yeah, it's those immediate actions. The rest, once you've got it covered, the rest, yeah, you can stop, make a plan. And there's some pretty standard stuff that we get done in jobs like that. First one is who is it? We've got to ID them, so we take their fingerprints and rush them off to get ID'd straight away. And once you get the result back, you've got something to. Well, we don't have something to work with. It doesn't affect what we're doing in the scene, but it is something for the detectives and everyone to get rolling with.
Do you still have to do that even if you found a wallet on in their pocket?
So no, well, less likely if you've got ID on them, but then that ID could be someone else's. Right. So outside scenes are really difficult. If it's an inside scene, it's easier because whose house is it? If it's the person's house, they match the description. Really helps if they're known on the system. Like if they're a criminal themselves, the identification part really helps. Like that's easy then. But yeah, it can be problematic, and sometimes you can't do it. You've got to kind of let that one go. You do your best, and if they're not on the system, they've got no ID on them, you deal with the crime scene and wait for other things to be done in the background by detectives, and we just crack on.
In that specific example of In the Woods, what did you find and what did you deduce?
So that one was a difficult one because you have nothing to go on at the start. It's just a body in the woods, but it was the wounds straight away. I noticed the wounds weren't consistent with it being like a suicide, because obviously at first you don't know if it's even a murder. It could be a suicide, but the wounds just weren't consistent. It just didn't look right.
So that's a gut feeling. Surely that's just based on this doesn't feel right.
It is 100% gut, but your gut is based on a lot of things. Like at this point, I'd been in a while and done a lot of jobs, not necessarily murders, but a lot of like stabbings, things like that. And we kind of call it bias, but it's the good type of bias. It's your experience leading you a certain way, and it just didn't look right. It didn't sit right. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of suicides as well, and it just did not look right. It wasn't the place you'd pick. It wasn't the position. We could see that the person had been up and moving while bleeding. And if you're committing suicide, why would you do that? And yeah, the position of the wound, it just was like, if you were going to do it, it wouldn't be in that position or at that angle. And it was then, as soon as we got the ID and everything, then the ball really starts rolling. And yeah, you've got sort of a full-blown murder investigation.
As I'm listening to this, Joe, I think I'm going off the idea of being a CSI.
You want to leave the team?
Well, maybe can I take a back office role? Because, JJ, you're very good there. You've been, not matter of fact, but you've been very calm about describing a situation that most people would find absolutely horrific and would give them nightmares for months.
Yeah, I think it takes a certain personality. It's not for everyone. Without being callous, you do have to take the personal element out of it. As soon as the personal element creeps in, it can affect you. But if I'm honest, you go into you just go into job mode. Like, I think it's I don't want to oversimplify it, but I don't see it as that different to, there's a lot of people that would not, in any chance in their life, they would never square up against 15 rugby players and go head first into them. like people would find that way too intimidating, or just even like playing in front of a crowd. Like, it's the same. Like, it's built up. That's why we start at the bottom and build our way up. We don't put the brand new people into that situation because they've not got the experience, they've not got the knowledge, and they're not ready for it, because you get an absolute shot of adrenaline when a big job comes in. And I love that. Like, that helps me. I need the fear. Like, even when I was at school, like, I needed the fear. I was good in exams, terrible at coursework. I need that. And when a job comes in, I love it. My brain goes into sort of hyperdrive, and yeah, I just go into the zone. And it's why I love the job, to be fair.
You said there it's not for everyone. The job's clearly not for everyone. But why was it for you? Because there'll be some bit, or there's actually me, part of me goes, actually, the people that get involved in these jobs that can involves seeing really traumatic scenes and horrible situations, actually, are they a bit tapped themselves? Are they actually secret undercover serial killers or psychopaths? Immediately, that part of me. So why, if it's not for everyone, why is it for you?
For me personally, I don't know why I've ended up being okay for it. The reason I wanted to get into it was obviously because of the whole sort of puzzle solving. I like the idea of doing something different every day. But me and my dad, I lived with my dad when I was a kid, and we got burgled 3 times in like 18 months. So it wasn't like a murder or anything that sort of motivated me, thankfully. But it gave me this like absolute drive to like do something about it. I was like sort of 14, 15, something like that at the time of the first one. And it just gave me this like unbelievable drive to do something about it. So yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to be a police officer, but I loved science. So I was like, well, I'll do the forensic side of it. And yeah, went to uni and yeah, got a job at the bottom. And just, worked my way up. And yeah, it's one of them things where we bring people in at the bottom, and you don't know until you deal with your first dead body or until you deal with your first post-mortem whether you can hack it. Sometimes people don't realise for a while afterwards that they didn't deal with it okay. And everyone has their own, what I call like triggers. And it's weird the spectrum. Like, obviously the stuff that we deal with is stuff that most people hopefully never see in their entire life. And when I first started, there was a guy that had been in the job sort of 25 years, possibly, maybe longer. He could deal with anything. He'd dealt with everything throughout his career, but he could not deal with rotting food. So if we went into a house and the fridge had been off for a while,
You're going to say rotting
food.
flesh?
No, that was fine. No, so like if we had to do like a bin
Mick,
search,
there's a fucking rotting banana in here.
yeah.
Mick, go back to the body.
There's a decapitated body. Oh yeah, where is it? Yeah, come over there. Get that fucking banana away from me.
Yeah, it's weird. That's just how he worked.
Yeah.
And it was like he could not deal with it, and yeah, everyone has their own like thing. They're not they're not happy with. Like some people cannot hack anything where an animal's been harmed,
Yeah.
but can deal with like a full-blown murder.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It's just personal to people, and the mixture of people we've now got, like in the job that obviously last and do carry on. Yeah, everyone's different, and everyone can deal with different stuff.
Tom, what do you think your trigger would be? Like, what's the thing that you can't handle?
Dog shit.
Really?
Makes my stomach go.
Out of everything, dog shit's a no-go.
Mm.
You're all right with fox shit?
Don't mind fox shit, actually.
Human shit?
It's not ideal, is it? I
No.
think you just come across dog shit more often than human shit, don't you?
Fair enough. Blood, you're okay with blood?
Yes.
Sick?
Again, not ideal.
Okay.
What's just, as you're going through this list, what's turning your stomach? What are you okay with?
I'm okay with it all.
Okay.
The only thing I get triggered by is breast milk.
Okay.
It's fucking...
That'd be a rare thing at a crime scene.
Yeah.
So we.
So I think I'll be all right.
I think
won't
you're
Yeah,
fine.
you'd be fine.
I? Yeah.
You'd be fine.
What about Joe? Because the thing you said there, JJ, about you trying not to make it personal, you're going to find things out in the longer term which might make it personal.
Yeah.
So, you know, it might be that you find out someone is a brother or a sister of someone, or you will build up details about that person. Do you think you could do that, Joe? Like as it becomes more personal?
I don't know. I think I'd like to imagine I'd jump into how JJ is about it, that it's work mode. Do you know what I mean? You get in that, and it's not until you actually maybe leave the job or a period of time down the road where you sit down and go, fucking hell, that was intense.
messed up.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'd be a bit like that, but I'm not sure. How do you like?
Sometimes it hits you straight away. So I've had 2 jobs that I've had to have treatment for trauma.
Yeah.
One of them was pretty much instant. They were completely different. Like one of them was like a grief response because I personalised it, like couldn't help it, and the other one was a fear response because life's in danger kind of thing.
Yeah.
The one that got me straight away was might not be something people want to listen to, but a baby had been murdered.
Oh.
Yeah, horrific. And that baby was the same age as my daughter. And I couldn't help it. I couldn't help personalise it. Literally, no matter what you do, you can't not personalise that. And effectively, I ended up grieving for that child. And yeah, it's horrible. And I knew instantly with that one. We have measures in place in our force where you go and have an assessment after a particularly horrible job. Even if it's not a particularly horrible job, you can refer yourself if you think you've bothered by something.
Yeah.
And yeah, effectively got treatment for that, which was brilliant. And during that treatment, they realised a job from like 3 years ago had messed me up a little bit.
What was that one?
That was a fear response. So without going into details about the job too much, effectively, someone had been killed by what should be a wild animal, but wasn't a wild animal. So a caged wild animal.
Fucking hell.
And I had to go into the enclosure and take all the photographs initially, and we didn't know how the wild animal had got from its little home into the main outside bit. And yeah, my legs were like jelly at the time, like just slowly working my way around this enclosure.
That
yeah,
for a game of soldiers.
It was, and at the time it was just pure adrenaline.
Yeah,
pure adrenaline. Got the job done. Did what we needed to do, and yeah, didn't think much of it at the time, but then was in a similar situation about 3 years later and had a panic attack and just didn't know why.
Yeah.
It's fine in between. It was only in those very specific circumstances, not at work, thankfully, and I just had a panic attack and I was just like, oh, this is odd. I'm not bothered by anything. I'm not, like, nothing usually phases me, and that just got me, and I was like, oh, something's not right here. But yeah, it was just a fear response. So it hadn't processed in my mind. And then, yeah, just had treatment and come out the other side, thankfully.
you clearly see that it's not easy to talk about those two specific ones. So I appreciate you sharing that for us and the listeners, because it's not easy. But it's good to hear that you have those sort of things make you want to continue, by the sounds of it, make you want to continue the job, because you go, well, I want to catch the people that do this, or do you know what I mean? That to stop this happening again in the future, or actually get the justice system right. And it's really good that you've also got something in place to then actually help cope with it, so you can continue to do it and use your skill set to actually be good at the job moving forward. It's really important.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from my experience. I think being blind to it wouldn't help. I think, it's, and everyone's different as well. My way of dealing with it and getting it dealt with is completely different to other people. So there's no one size fits all for dealing with the shit we deal with, basically. And like I said, like the bloke that doesn't like food might have been absolutely fine in those two jobs. But and then turned off fridge with some mouldy cheese in it, and he might have been out the door. So
there must be a massive satisfaction, JJ, if you're going to a complicated crime scene, and you said you like solving puzzles, and you do solve a puzzle that others might find intractable. It must be so satisfying.
It's epic. If I'm like, and it doesn't have to be a big job. Like, it doesn't have to be a big job. Like when I was at the base level, I used to absolutely love going to a burglary where the victim did not know how they'd got in. They were like sort of upset, confused about how the burglar got in. They were sure they'd locked everything, and working out how they got in and then being able to give them the advice as to how to prevent it in the future just gives you a bit of a buzz. And then you get the extra buzz if you then obviously catch the person by finding the evidence that gets them. There is a real satisfying buzz when I'm not very operational anymore because I run a team of CSIs, but you get sent through what we call idents when you get a hit, either a fingerprint, DNA, something. You get that email come through, and it gives you a little report who the person was, what bit of your evidence got them, and it's just a like little pick me up. It's like, oh, I got them. And then when you see a name, and it's like, it's a name that you recognise as being part of more like bigger things, like an organised crime group or something. You're like, oh, this is good. And it's like, it's just, I don't know, there's something really satisfying about it.
Have you got a specific case that you're like most proud of?
I think, I don't know about most proud of, because they're constant. They're like waves. They constantly come at you. I think the first murder I ever worked on was one that I learnt the most on. And I wasn't there for day one. It came in overnight. I got there from, I think, day two, the following day. And basically we were in this one house for about 3 weeks. And it was what we normally do. Obviously, the stereotypical thing of what we do is try and find out who the killer is and find evidence to put the killer in the house, or in the scene, or on the body, or whatever. But with this job, we were proving that nobody else was present. So effectively, it was a domestic murder, and the person who committed the murder, and who is now serving life in prison, claimed that it was a robbery gone wrong while they were in the shower, and it was bullshit. It was bullshit. But it's unbelievably difficult to prove that nobody else has been there, because what they say, absence of evidence isn't evidence in itself. But we literally had to spend 3 weeks just combing every inch of that house, proving that there wasn't. So even once we'd got enough evidence to prove that the person that did it was either involved or did it, it's also, well, what if someone helped her? What if someone did this? What if they paid someone to do it, like that sort of stuff. And we basically spent three weeks combing every inch of that house, proving that the robbery / burglary was fake and nobody else had been in that house other than the family and the paramedics and the police officers.
When you say combing, how much combing do you actually do? Like physical combing?
Only hair combing on a body.
I just for some reason I pictured you on all fours
combing the carpet.
And we've just got a lovely, oh my God, these carpets that we've got. It's not carpet, rugs. We've just got, they're the softest things I've ever felt. put them. There's one in Felix's room, one in Maggie's room, and I slipped over on it the other day because it's that soft and slippery. It's incredible. But you can comb through it, like you can lie on it and just comb through it. And I pictured you there on all fours with a nit comb, just going through, like quite tough thing, but going through it all, then looking into a comb, not finding anything, and then going, there's quite a big fucking rug here. So you don't do that?
So, no, we don't do
so
that.
when you say we comb through that place...
I just mean like literally like through that house step. And I mean, because of the nature of it and the stuff we could ruin, contaminate, whatever, we had what we call stepping plates out. So these big metal squares that we put down on the floor to stop you stepping on the floor and the evidence. We had those, and we had to do the entrance hallway first. Then once that was done, we could move into the living room. So basically, we didn't even get into like the bedrooms upstairs for the first like week and a half. We didn't even go in there. So it was just epic.
It's quite a logistical nightmare where you're having to, it's a bit like a team building.
Yeah.
Get
from one side of the river to the other.
Yeah.
Put one log there, jump on that one, then move past me that one, move out that one. Yeah, okay, that sounds quite fun, actually.
Also, Joe, JJ told us at the very start that he had a short attention span.
Yeah.
He seems to be demonstrating that actually, JJ, you've got an awesome attention span. If you could spend 3 weeks doing all those super fiddly tiny things to get the person who did it, to get the perpetrator and help put them behind bars, that's an unbelievable level of patience.
It's you have to. So it's not natural for me. Like I said, it's not natural for me. And I with that one, because it wasn't like solved, it kept my interest. Like as in, I have to keep my interest and focus on it on other stuff. But that one kept my interest because there was still more to do. But the reason that you can't let your focus drop, and the thing that does motivate you to keep it up and not lose focus, even if you're not having fun, enjoying yourself, whatever, is that sometimes the most little mundane thing in a scene could actually turn out to be unbelievably crucial. Some of I didn't do anything particularly glamorous on that job. Like, I didn't find the murder weapon, one of my colleagues did. Like, I recovered some really mundane, boring sounding stuff, and then it ended up being really crucial in proving that it was planned rather than spontaneous. And that then adds to the person's sentence. And but I didn't know at the time, I've got this task, I need to process this room and get through it. And I recovered some bits that I thought would never see the light of day again. And then, lo and behold, it comes to court and it's unbelievably important.
When you say like a mundane task or what do you mean? Like getting a photo frame and then just dousing it. Oh, actually, do you use that dust?
Yeah,
fingerprint dust.
Yeah,
do you use that?
Yeah. We've got. I think we use about 4 different powders.
What is that
different
powder?
Things. So we've got one that's the typical one you see on telly with the furry brush that spin.
Yeah,
that's aluminium powder.
That can't be good for you.
No,
Inhaling aluminium powder.
It's not. That's why we have to wear masks.
Okay.
And if you're in an enclosed space, we have a special mask that you have to wear. It's not good for your lungs, no.
Yeah.
And then we have one that's on the end of a magnetic wand. So there's no contact, basically. It's just the powder in a little ball touching the surface. There's less...
That sounds better.
You want one of those for Christmas?
I want one of them for Christmas. If you haven't already got me something, because I know what you like, I'll be having one of those, please. Thank you. And you can ask JJ to track one down. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
And I'm going to get you another robot Hoover. What about so the mundane task? What is that? Just putting.
It could just be like photographing something and then seizing it, like just putting it in the exhibit bag, and that's it. Like, that could be the mundane task. You get asked by the crime scene manager to go and go in. Oh, can you? There should be this in this room. Can you go and photograph it and examine it visually? Just make sure there's nothing of interest on it, and then seize it. And with that literally was it was, and it was the absence of there was absence of blood on a certain item, which showed that they'd prepped beforehand, because they didn't have bloody hands. They were absolutely covered in blood, and they didn't have bloody hands when they touched that item. So, and to me, I had no idea at the time. It was, but that's why you have to keep that focus, because even those tiny little small tasks could be crucial. They might be nothing. Like, it could be nothing, but you just don't know with those jobs. It keeps your head like interested. It keeps your head in the game.
So, Joe, you would like the magnetic thingy with the thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. JJ, what is the single fiddliest thing that you have to do on a crime scene?
Single fiddliest has got to be, and this is a really mundane, boring sounding task, but seizing a paint sample off of like a car. So if you've had like an RTC, if you've had a car crash and there's paint transfer across, the way we have to seize paint is so fiddly, it's unbelievable. So you're using a scalpel, you're wearing these, you're meant to wear these massive gloves that are cut proof, which I don't. I just take the risk. It's personal choice.
Yeah.
I've always just
You
taken
live
the
on the
risk.
edge. I like it.
I think I'm more likely to stab myself if I'm wearing massive like oven gloves while I'm trying to use a scalpel. And then you have to hold this sticky gel to catch it. And also you're meant to be wearing goggles just in case the scalpel snaps. It's fucking mad. It's fucking mad.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I'll probably with you on that, with the gloves. But with the goggles and
You'd wear the goggles.
Oh yeah, just the thought of the scalpel snapping
isn't
and
it?
going in my eye, I'm probably not going to take that.
The risk reward balance is different to the gloves,
as
isn't
much
it?
as maybe
Stab yourself in the hand, it's fine.
yeah, I could end up looking like a legit pirate. I don't think it's going to be worth it in the long run. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Goggles would be worth it in those situations. But yeah, it's the most mundane, fiddly, annoying task to do. But yeah, you got to do it.
What about blood spatter? Now, are you a fan of Dexter?
Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, hang on.
Tickly cough.
How would I go about collecting that DNA that Tom's just coughed all over the?
Just a nice little swab. Roughly work out where he's.
So I'd swab the carpet there,
Could do. I mean,
or just
I'd
the air,
imagine.
you know?
No. I reckon there's a good bit on that wall based on the angle.
Yeah,
Is it that bad?
it was huge.
But I moved away from you, didn't I?
No, you did, which was nice because earlier you didn't when you were spitting
saliva.
jalapeno sandwich on my face, which would be easy for me to swab out of my eye.
I've apologised for that, and you did show me your naked ass earlier, so I'm going to drop that in there out of context.
Sorry, I didn't show you my naked ass. You knocked on my hotel door and you woke me up because I was late. And I opened up and I'm not even finishing this. You came into my room.
No, I didn't. I didn't cross the threshold.
Well, there you go. So what's the problem?
It wasn't a problem for
I didn't cross the threshold either. A metaphorical one.
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay, thank you. Back to Dexter.
Yeah.
I love Dexter. I love it as a program. Have you seen Dexter? You haven't seen Dexter.
No, I'm familiar with the concept.
The blood spatter expert and does all the thing. Do you do any of that? Like a blood spatter analysis, or is that specific role?
So we don't do the analysis. We do like the recording of it.
Right.
If it's
As
a
in the
murder,
photo taking.
So we take the photos with scales. We take certain swabs from it to establish whose blood is in which pattern. So if you're going to look at a pattern, you need to know whose blood is in that pattern, especially if you've got multiple people in a scene fighting with each other or whatever it is. We don't do the analysis. We're just trained to record it. On a big job like a murder or something, you'd have a blood spatter expert come out to scene, and they would guide you as to what they interpret it. And as they're interpreting it, they then work out what they need recording, what they need swabbing, what they need photographing, and that's how we do it. So...
Joe, we have had some excellent questions from our Patreons.
Interesting.
Yeah? Okay, I'm going to open out with one from James Napier.
Come on, Nape Dog.
Nape Dog would like to know, JJ, do you actually use chalk to outline corpses on streets?
No, never used it. We do have road crayons, like they're just a big yellow crayon, but that's more for marking out where vehicles are in a street scene before you have them removed and given back to the owner of the vehicle, things like that.
I'm getting you some of those for Christmas. You'd love a set of road crayons.
Road crayon?
Like giant Crayolas. You could just put obscene messages on the street, or ordinary messages, or butterflies. Whatever you wanted to, with your giant road crayons. Do you want a set?
I want a set.
I thought so.
Please.
Would you like a massive pencil case to keep them in?
I think we're going too far with it now. I would like a massive pencil case. If you don't get that, then I'm not giving you your second robotic Hoover.
Okay.
Okay, is that fine? We've got a question here from James Barlow, who I believe is the giant son of Gary. He's a big listener.
The giant son. Why is he giant?
Oh my God, have you not seen this?
He's a big listener.
He's literally
James is
big.
massive.
He's ginormous.
Is he?
So it's like
James the giant listener.
really good from you. Anyway, I think it's him. It might not be, probably not, but could be. So let's go with that. It is. James Barlow has said, have you ever seen a crime scene and thought, there's no way we're going to find out what's happened here?
No. Forensically, we might look at it and go, there's going to be very little we're going to contribute to this. Like, genuinely, sometimes we're like, yeah, we're not helping here.
What sort of example?
So when the people that are involved are known, but the circumstances aren't, if that makes sense. So it's one person's word against the other. So forensically, everything ties up no matter whose account is which. That would be a case where, yeah, forensically, we're not contributing very much other than maybe some photographs. It all come down to accounts. And then, to be honest, whenever we go to a crime scene now, it's so unlikely that it won't be solved, because not just because of our work and the stuff we do, but we're working alongside like digital forensics people that are looking into data and all that sort of stuff, and looking at people's phone records, looking at pretty much absolutely everything, looking at people's search history that they think they've deleted, and like there's so little chance that crimes like of that level, when you get to murder level, when you get burglary level and things like that, we don't have the resources to throw hundreds and hundreds of man hours at solving it. But if you're talking murder level, there's nothing we won't throw at it, and it's very unlikely it isn't going to get solved.
Question here, Joe, from Rob McKenna. The way he's phrased this makes me want to do it in a strange accent. Was there ever a scene where there was an assumption of how someone had died and the truth turned out to be completely different?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we're not experts at that. We can only base things on our experience and what we see. We get a lot of training in signs of causes of death and things like that. But yeah, we've had one before where we had a certain theory, and then once it got to post-mortem, there were signs underneath the skin that the person had been strangled, which we literally could not see. So it's not always obvious, not always obvious at all, especially if it's like a drug overdose or something like that, and they've not left anything behind that points to what drug they've taken or something like that. So yeah, sometimes it is not obvious, and sometimes it's what's mad is that you see a massive wound and a little wound, and the massive wound will actually turn out that would have been superficially would have survived that, but that little wound there just nicked his heart, and that's it. So yeah, the one in the woods was a different wound to what I thought. So yeah, he had a couple of wounds, and it was one that we couldn't even see just because of the position of the body and the way the skin had then closed back up again. It was the wound we could barely see that just looked like a scratch. It was actually the one that went straight into the heart.
Oh my God. That would hurt, wouldn't it?
Why are you smiling?
Just because he likes the morbid.
Listening to all these details and all this knowledge that you have, JJ, I go back to my skeptic viewpoint at the start when I mentioned about people get into this job because actually they're secret psychopaths, or serial killers, or, you know, crime villains, organised crime and all that lot. Surely you're the most equipped person to get away with a crime. So like, you know all the ways that are going to get you caught. Mm. So I'm now looking at you like, fucking hell, is he? Or isn't he? Is he? Oh, I don't know anymore. So are you?
We get this question a lot, and I think it's actually the opposite. I think we would overthink everything.
Make it the perfect.
We'd be like, I can't wear shoes because of my footprint, so how do I do it? I'll abseil in, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I think we would overthink everything, like to the point, can't breathe in case I spit any DNA, so you're like holding your breath throughout the whole thing. Like, I think we would overthink it, or it'd be so perfect forensically, it'd be really fucking obvious that it was someone trained and we'd be top of the suspect list.
This answer, Joe, is exactly why JJ's extraordinarily good at his job.
Yeah.
Because he's looked at a crime scene that he's created and then realised that he's created it and he's the villain.
And just gone, oh, I'm fucked.
What about whenever I watch TV, like crime shows on TV or murder solving scenes, it's the key thing is always finding the murder weapon. You must find the murder weapon. Where's the weapon? What was the weapon? Where is it? And just looking for it anyway. One of the most fascinating ones was on Luther, when it was like the opening scene where Alice, the woman he's got a weird obsession with, she's a serial killer. She killed her mum and dad. With it, she shot them both in the head, but he didn't know that, and they couldn't find the murder weapon until they cremated the dog. And what she'd done is she'd shot the dog with the rest of the bullets left in the gun, undone the gun, like dismantled it all, fucked it off down the dog's throat, so it was stuck in there. And it wasn't until they cremated the dog that they found the murder weapon, because it was loads of it melted, but there was a bit of the gun that doesn't melt or something, the poly thing. I think CSI is not for me, is it? This poly thing that doesn't melt. Even though now I've said poly, I think poly's more plastic and would melt. So we'll go with iron.
An iron gun.
An iron gun. And that was like a really weird way. Is there any weird places you found a murder weapon or?
Sometimes we never find it.
But doesn't that frustrate the fuck out of
Oh,
you?
yeah, of course it does, yeah. Because it's got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
But the majority of murders aren't planned, so it's usually in an absolute panic. They get rid of it somewhere. And, yeah, depending on the parameters or the type of scene and stuff, like, quite often we will find it. But the domestic murder I mentioned before, that was quite sort of a funny one. I think they must have just thought we wouldn't look and that we would believe the robbery story, because that was just literally stuffed in a black bin bag upstairs in the bedroom. Obviously, it took us like a week and a half to get there. But it was, yeah, that was just, yeah, stuffed in a bag, hoping we wouldn't find it. And it's like, it was, yeah, it's as well planned as things can be. They quite often absolutely go to pot. So, yeah, it's not a normal thing to do, is it? So they don't think rationally. I don't think I've necessarily come across in my work so far like a complete psychopath, because we deal with them in custody as well. I have to take their photos, sometimes I have to take their swabs. And even the most cocky, like I had one guy that I had to photograph, and he'd literally just murdered someone with a machete, and he, over like a tiny little drug debt, like you're talking like £100 maybe, I think, and he'd murdered him with a machete, and I had to process him, I had to photograph him and stuff in custody, and I was taking a picture of his hands, and he was acting all cocky, but as soon as he was showing his hands were like this. Shaking. And then, yeah, shaking, because he's as much as there is bravado, he is nervous, he knows what's coming, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And he even tried to sort of rescue the bravado, and I had to ask him to take his top off because we have to photograph him completely in case they've got any injuries that relate to the offence. And when I asked him to take his top off, he literally like some sort of poster boy lifted up his front and tried to show me his non-existent abs. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, it's mad. You, like, when you're dealing with murderers and stuff, and I think people have like a certain sort of preconception of what a murderer would be like. You get all sorts. I've met one that it sounds weird, but I had a lovely chat with him. And like, just because I'm not there, we are neutral. Like, we are neutral. At that point, I don't know if he is a murderer or not. I know he's been arrested for it. My job is there to photograph him and sort of, yeah, record any evidence, recover any evidence. And actually, he was quite pleasant. He was completely different with the police officer when they walked in, and he shut up and wouldn't talk to him. But with me, he was quite chatty and quite all right. It's just odd. I had one where the my part of my photography, I didn't obviously make it obvious to the bloke, but part of my photography was to try and capture the top of his head because he's got a bald patch, and they wanted to compare it to some CCTV from the job. And the minute he clocked onto it, he was completely compliant at first, and then I said, "Oh, can you sit down so I can do some literally I always tell them they're like a rotisserie chicken. I get them to stay in one spot, I stay in one spot, and I get them to spin." And I was like, "Can you sit down and then we'll do it again?" And he was like, "Why?" I said, "I just need to photograph you from above." And I saw the moment, the realization, it clocked in his head. And he immediately, in the middle of a police cell, laid down on the floor and pressed his bald spot into the floor and just laid there and refused. And I went, "Mate, I'm getting paid. I'm here all day." I was like, "Just get up so I can photograph you." And he just he laid there for a few more moments and then got up and let me take a couple of photos. But it's the people you deal with. It's just, people have this certain picture of a murderer or a criminal in their head, and they're just this. There's such a wide spectrum of who you're dealing with.
We got a question here, Joe, from Charlotte Lee.
Go on,
one of
Charlotte.
our patrons. Charlotte would like to know this, JJ. As a girl with lots of hair that falls out, I've always wondered what would happen if one blew in the wind and landed in a crime scene.
Yeah, we'd put her away for murder. Done. No,
Charlotte, you're fucked.
Yeah. So hair that just falls out generally doesn't have much DNA on it, if any. Hair that gets pulled out because it takes a bit of skin with it, that's where you get the DNA from. So there's a different type of DNA in the hair, but that's not as useful. So the DNA we're hoping for is the DNA that's like literally the bit from the hole in your scalp where the hair comes out of. It's like a little sheath of skin. So if it's generally just blown in, then probably doesn't have too much to worry about. But even if we did get, let's say she caught it on her coat and it ripped out and then blew in the wind, we always, whenever we do get a result, I say we get a result, obviously we get the result, but when the result goes through to the detectives and everything, they then do a lot of due diligence and work out whether it's what we call a genuine identification. Is it someone that's actually related to this? Is it likely? They'll do their due diligence, work it out, and then they'll act on it if it's relevant. So yeah, I don't think she's got too much to worry about as long as she isn't just using it as a cover for her crime spree.
Charlotte, just email us in and let us know.
Back to an earlier question, when you first turn up at the scene.
Yeah.
Surely the first thing you need to establish is whether the victim or the deceased or the victim or whatever it is, the injured party is actually dead or alive. Have you ever been to a case where you've turned up, you've been presumed it's going to be a dead body, and it turns out they're alive?
I haven't. We don't do that. So that's either established by paramedics first. They'll stick the dots on and check whether they've got any kind of electrical activity going on, heartbeat, etc. And then we're called at that point, or they're taken off to hospital if they're still alive, and then we go once they're en route. One of my colleagues did get called to a death, and he was about halfway there. I'd say more than halfway there because he was sort of pulling into the area, and then got a call from the officer at scene and was like, "Yeah, you might want to turn round. The deceased person is up and destroying the house." Yeah, so basically they'd managed to revive him. So they called it in as a death. They'd then tried their best and were successful, which is great. And then whatever chemical reactions had happened, this guy then went into a uncontrolled rage when they'd revived him and was trashing the place. So my colleague literally turned around and drove back. I was like, not getting involved.
It's a lot of energy for someone who's almost dead.
Yeah. It's quite a surprise coming over the radio when your deceased person is up and destroying a house. It's like
good bad news, isn't it?
I think it was actually a bit of a long gag.
Yeah.
Where he's like, right, I'm going to play dead here for a bit.
3 weeks.
This joke went too far.
He's just gone fucking wild. Oh my God, for fuck's sake. So we've kind of coming to the end now, and I'd like us to assess whether you're going to join the team, Tom. Are you going to be able to manage to stay on this team because I think I can do it. I think
You're
I
in,
can
aren't you?
do it. I'm
You've
in.
got your road crayons.
I've got my road crayons. I'm going to
got
wear
your
my
magnetic
goggles
thing.
so that I can not get flicked in the eye by a scalpel. I can pretty much handle blood, guts, shit. You know, I told you about me pushing that shit down a drain once. Just doesn't faze me at all. I would probably have to step out of any breast milk associated crime scenes if that's okay with you two.
Yeah, someone else cover that.
So you can cover that. But is this a 2-man band or is it a 3-man band, Tom? Are you going to join us?
I think if it was any other 2 people, I would not be joining this band and making a 3-man band because it's you and JJ. I'm in.
JJ's comforted us today, hasn't he?
I just think with JJ we'd be fine whatever we faced and whatever traumas we faced, I think we could deal with it as a trio. I'm in.
Successfully lulled you into a false sense of security.
There's still something in the back of my mind, isn't it, now that we've agreed to this, that JJ is a secret serial killer. And this is how he goes about things. He goes on people's podcasts.
Yeah.
Complicated modus operandi.
Tells them all about it. Lulls us in,
killer.
and we just disappear. And he gets away with it because he knows how to stuff the gun in a dog
Stomach.
That's what happens. JJ, you've been absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank
the
you
show.
for having
mate.
me. It's been good.
Legend. And why don't we try and arrange? I don't know. How old are your kids?
5 and well, she'll be 8 just after Christmas.
Okay, so Thorpe Park's probably a bit too old. Let's go Chessington. Me and you organised to go Chessington.
I don't think we need to pick a date. We'll both be there the same day, no matter what.
You'll know.
It will just happen.
Yeah.
It would just happen.
I look forward to it. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.